This is day number 223 of the Arukh HaShulchan OC. If you'd like to sponsor an upcoming Shir Arukh HaShulchan OC or more, please contact me directly. It would be very much appreciated. Today we're doing Simmer Kuf Nun Test, Sif Yud Beis through Yud Test. Excuse me. And we're still in the middle of talking about holes in vessels for Tilas Yadayim. Yud Beis. B'das HaRosh v'hatur. That's what should have simmer to a mamish lefech. Taint to the betum matara. What to do with matara? Bakol kli place on neka b'konis mashka. Every keli is possible neka with the konis, with the hole the size which allows liquids in. That's a chumrah. The neged zemakilim, but up and on the other hand, they make it the lower part when it has contain reviews. And you can pour the water through the hole. Tamikasha. It's always kosher. Even the keli is no longer tameh because it lost the shein keli, but nevertheless, for the tilas yadayim, it's still a keli. But smag tov is chumras kula. The smag takes the chumras of both the Rambam, the smag, and the Rashba on the one hand, and the Rosh on the other hand. The b'chol kli paisel neke b'kodesh mashke that. In any vessel, the keli is puzzle when if it's allows with in. So gam das the neither sham. Vodich miras mark that's a Rambam. The bekonis mashke, he also says that if it allows liquid in, gam tachnon, even the bottom part, even if it holds their base, is also puzzle. The Chmir the same Rambam. Actually, it's more like the Rambam. The Rambam is marked for Rashba. It's only by Kli which is designated for Mashkin, that a Konis Mashke passes it. Smad B'chol came to indicate, and all Kalim Konis Mashke passes, no matter what the Kli is Miyuchad for, what it's designated for, makes no difference. Only a hole with a smaller dimension, which allows liquids out but not in. In that case, he allowed the lower part. But according to all rabbis, with a hole which is less than kones mashka doesn't allow liquid in. Kosher legamrei gam achel all of it's kosher, including the top part, because it's not a bottle. There's a clear. It's not a significant crack. Okay, the Mishnah Berurah says that if it's a small crack, which mashkin can go out but not go in, it's considered kli sholim, and you can wash over the rim, even if the hole is at the bottom of the kli, to the point that it doesn't hold revius under that hole. So he says it is mekel. That doesn't lose the Torah's kli because of this hole. However, the Mishnah himself says that you should be making this and not mishas atchak when you have no keli. The Bir Halacha says that if the nekev is motzi mashke, but not machnis mashke, in other words, it only allows liquid out but not in, you can't use that hole to wash. That's a drip. It's not significant. You have to dafka wash over the rim, not from that hole. Okay, back to the Arukh HaShulchan. B'dash ha'tur b'sovin yehi become the Rambam, and Shem Tur also means the Rambam. V'nira dedaita the bezeh might of the Rambam. It seems that this point you can see the Rambam. The Yitarami to Masa b'neked, because that if it no longer is metame on account of such a hole, psul gamri, it's completely possible. But I was saying about Shulchan Aruch with the gamri kedivya Rosh Tur, the authors of the Shulchan Aruch, which is only the B'cham Ramah, right? Completely like the words of the Rosh and the Tur. Lo Yivio Cloud, the Rambam, Lo Yivio Shar Poskim, it's Archin. And they didn't bring that other Poskim. No, it's not why. It's Archin. Before we read the brackets, the Mishnah Berurah says all this is the opinion of Shulchan Aruch, which copied the halacha, the words of the Torah. Now, many poskim argue on this and hold that a kli cheres, which is designated for liquid, if the hole is the size which allows liquid in, you can't use it for washing even through the hole. And nevertheless, if he has no other keli, you can rely on the mechaber who says that you can wash through the hole. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. There's long brackets. The Talmud, why do the authors of Shulchan Aruch do that? Mishum the Beis Yosef Sibra Gadol Nistabech Harbei B'Divei Rambam Basmak Vasmak. The Beis Yosef has grave difficulties with those shitas. Ayin Sham Kamatasiv Kadon Aleph Herich Harbei. Taz was very long. For any move on him. Words aren't understood. Kasha Tamar Pri Maganim. Balushis Rad. I'm sorry. Balushis Rad Toch Liyashva B'Tzor Doch Gadol. Okay, they're not pleased with the stars. But you want to see Sivkan Gimel who Vidi Rashba. So the Rashi refers Divrei Sefer Truma Ayin Sham. As the Rashi was explaining the Sefer Truma, but Al Divrei Fimash Kasavnu Ein Okay. No, Arukh HaShulchan says not shot. But the Dina Hiskim Kim At Kamosh Kasav. It's just that there's very great parallels to halacha. Because of the Klishni Tarm B'Tumasa Psula Gam L'Tol Nekev Derchanekev. Ayin Sham again. Avram says that if you have a keli which has become tar from its tumah, you can't watch through the hole. It's no longer as a shame keli. Even throw it can't wash. Vada kenu came in the gamatur sfile kain. It's true the tur holds this way. Havsha rosh to sever truma lo near kain. Even though rosh to sever truma do not seem to hold that way. Yikom kam ledina ikar kain hu. Nevertheless, this is the case. V'duk. But we are not finished yet with this. No. Yud Gimel. V'dad in Maseches Parah Parakei Mishnah Zayin. Leinan Kiddush Mechatos. In terms of you making Parah Duma water to sprinkle on the Tamei Mace. Nikva Lamaton. There's a hole on the bottom. Pucker Kabbat Smartut. And you stopped it up with a rag. Hamayim should talk up pursuing the water in the container are puzzle. If the hole was on the side and you stuffed it, closed it with a rag, then the water inside is kosher. If the hole is on the side and you stopped it up, you put the mayim chaim, spring water into the vessel, the kadesh, and put the parah aduma ashes on it, and sprinkle it on the tamei mace. Kalashona. Pasha Kavachomer Dvarim. Now make the it should be Kavachomer. The Kiddush Mechatos do Raisa in making Paraduma water, which is do Raisa. The Ksima for where it says explicitly Maim Chaim El Keli spring water into a vessel. Kosher B'Chai Gabna is kosher. Kavachomer Dias Dain the Rabbanan. It certainly should be good by Dias Dain the Rabbanan. Utmi Hani Mash Echon Aposkim Lo Yizkir Zeh. He's astonished, and none of the posts can bring down that. Parallel to Paraduma. B'chein Kosav Echad Me'agdolim Mishnah Zu. This is the Gra, and Eli Rabba wrote on this Mishnah B'Zel Hashanah. Shamina Meha, from here we derive. Shemuta Litol Yadayim B'Kli Amruka Min Hatzad. The Gra holds from this Mishnah, we in fact learn, they're allowed to wash in a Kli, which has a hole on the side. V'leika L'mem B'Dach Shemayim L'mata Min HaNekev, and you can't say that we're talking about where the water is below the hole. Amashma lo chashiv kli, what's above is not a keli. Dim kain b'chulei. That's not the pasuk pshat in the Mishnah in any event, right? B'kein kosav echad meforsh Shulchan Aruch. That's the Magen Avram writes. The kli sholem, the kli was complete. V'nikev, and you got a hole. V'tacha bodav racher, and you stuffed somebody else into the hole. Mahani, it's effective. B'chulei. Kain b'shesosmo. It seems you stopped it up. Choshiv Shapir Kli, that's considered to be a valid Kli, Akal Shono. Saying is, it doesn't seem like you learn from Paraduma because El Shlochil Ben Lamata Ben Side. Let's draw a distinction between from below or from the side. You can also steam a Yafa base of Brazil Shemus Camus, and it seems he's going on a good, effective seal with wood or with metal, which is permanent. So there, it's not derived from that Mishnah and Parah. The Mishnah Berurah brings in the name of Taz, the Taz that if you close it with a pitch or rags, it's not effective in any Kli. If it's with tar, that works with Kli Cheres specifically. And anything which is the same substance as the Kli, such as metal and metal, or wood and wood, that certainly works. Okay, back to the Arukh HaShulchan. On the Rosh B'Peiru Shosham Kasem Forsh Lebech. But the Rosh in Maseches Parah says explicitly the opposite. The Zealous show this way he says, Aval min hatzad. If it's on the side, Mekachim b'mayim shalom mata min hanekev. It's on the side, you can use the water below the hole. Fafilu lo pakakol b'smartu. He didn't stop it up with a rag. Akal shono. Chemash me'arash ayin sham. It seems to be shot in the Rash also. Avraham Apostle Kamosh Kosavda, but the Rambam Baskins, as a Gra and the Arukh HaShulchan say. Brackets. Bataz Sof Sivka Now Be'evi Mishtazu. He brings down his Mishnah because the Tilas Yadayim Chamir Tfei. But he says the Tilas Yadayim is more severe than Paraduma Ayin Sham. Udval Tmuim. This is astonishing. Tmiani Lama revealed the Divrei Rush. I'm astonished why they at least didn't bring the words of the Rush in the Mishnah. So Lacha, you can rely on those who are lenient. Of course, there's times that are abundant, subject to abundant lakula. Although, on the other hand, there's a bracha, so you could say subject brachas lahakel. But in any event, the Chumas Nation, who of course is for Ashkenazim at least, one of the great Rishonim, says this time hochin achar mekilin ayin sham beduk. Yudal kamu kol nekem koinis mashke. How big is a hole which allows liquid in? Means if you put this vessel on top of water, the water will come in through the hole. This is obviously larger and a crack through which water can exit. That's true about even the tiniest crack. Because most if a hole allows water out, that doesn't pass with the keli. Even such holes at the bottom of the vessel, which is visible, except according to the smag. There's another sign which has to do with allowing a liquid in, and no way to tell that. If it goes tip 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 tip, very quick drip. So that's flow is sufficient that allow liquid in. Those say if there's a crack in the vessel on the entire side, from the top to the bottom, even though this crack will not allow liquid in, this allows liquid out. It's possible washing because this crack makes a Torah from Tuma. Torah from Tuma. In this way, it certainly makes a possible to time. But this halacha is never specified. On the contrary, the Kalim Mishnah Muchat the Tzedek v'Nekeb Chadina Yislu Sham seems that the crack in a hole of the same halacha. The Chol Tzedek Mishnayos have a hefsek merubah min zeh. Normally, cracks in the Mishnah are talking about where there's a significant gap between the sides. If we're prepared to test the Mishnah Zayin. It's not as we learned there. Nistak minatano l'sreida. If there's a hole, a crack from the oven, I don't know. L'sreida is another vessel, I guess. Shiram malei kumlo pimardea. It's the size of a stick, which you use. The crack has to be the size of a stick, which you use to hit the oxen to plow the field. We have a house which has a crack. It's got to be at least like a plumb line, which is very small, but it is something. Shili Shabbos, and Shabbos you find with do Tzedek b'tefa, that there's a crack which has to be the size of a tefa. Ayin Sham. Hilkach Leisa Lahai Dina. Therefore, it would seem, the HaShulchan says, that even if it's cracked, as long as it's not machnis mashke, you can still use it for Netilas Yadayim. The Mishnah Berurah says that some say that all this is with a hole, but if it's cracked, it's possible even if the crack is just motzi mashke, just allows water liquid to exit, and even holds the revius below the crack. It's no good, but those who argue. If you have no other keli, you can rely on the mekilim. And even according to the mekilim, kalim which are strong, but through the crack, since it's cracked a bit, which kalim which are strong, and because it's cracked, it's not going to crack. Just because it's cracked a little bit, it's not going to crack all the way. It's no different. In this case, the crack, I'm not sure this is specifically according to the McKillen, so in this case, the crack is no different than a hole. Its parameters. Okay? In glass vessels, even if the crack is very, very tiny, and it's not even, doesn't even allow liquid out, Nevertheless, if the kli can no longer hold hot water, as well as it holds cold water, you should not use it with Yosidai. Test Vav. L'chein b'kol min keli. Therefore, every type of vessel sheyesh bo neked, which has a hole, yemein bo kikones mashke, if it doesn't have a hole, the size which allows liquids in, mutar tobo l'til we can use it to wash. Chen yesh bo b'gimel l'mala. If it has if its rim is damaged on top, or sedek, or it's a crack, I feel pnei kulo, even down the entire side. Water can't get in to the vessel through that damage or that's crack. You can use it to wash. And if the hole or the damaged rim or the crack is very big, they said you can wash over this place, through this place. You should have handle matarivias, and you can hold the revias below the crack or the damaged rim or the hole. You're allowed to use it like the Rosh Shita. That's website. That's the Rosh Vatur Sefer Shuma. Say about Shulchan Aruch, and according to Shulchan Aruch as well. Also, if you closed it up, this hole, adhering to his and the Grua's pshat in the Mishnah Torah, if you close it up with some way, mutzah tov derech piv, you can also go over the top of the rim. That's the Rambam Kama Gedolim, according to Rambam and other Gedolim, and according to his pshat in Mishnah Torah. Which is Sibir Gimel. That's a Rosh, ain't no king, which Kosam, according to Rosh is not the case. If I Kosam deals Yadayim, usually smoke al halam makilim. As he said before, in the deals you can rely on those lenient opinions. Mishnah says that you can't wash through the hole unless the hole is sufficiently big to allow that the water should not come out teef, drop by drop, but in a continuous flow. And because if not, you can't use the chatchila because it's like you're washing half a hand, another half a hand, which doesn't work. Mishnah also says that all these leniencies are b'makom hatchak. But the chatchila, it's proper to be mahader, that the keli should be complete. Tezayin. Tam Meseches Yadayim. Ein osim Yadayim below dafnos hakelim. You don't put onto the handles or the walls of the vessels, nor the bottom. The machatz, like whatever that keli is. Nor in the lid of a barrel. What is this toy about? Pirshu Rash Rav. The Tfonos hakelim, that I read this wrong. Sorry, because it says no steam, not notely. Bad. Let's start to do test 9 again. Tonight says Yadayim. Ain't no steam Yadayim. You can't wash your hands. Loads for this game, not with the walls of kalim. Lo b'shlei machatz, not with the bottom of machatz. Lo guz and not with the lid of a barrel. Pirshu Arash Arav. The dafnos hakelim, the walls of the vessels. B'shulei machatz, whatever the machatz is, have a shivrei kalim, are considered to be broken vessels. What is a machatz? The Tiferes Yisrael says in that Mishnah in Yadayim, machatz is a vessel with which you draw wine from the bore, from where the wine accumulated after being pressed, in order to fill the barrels. And shulei machatz, we're talking about where this keli was broken, and you only have the bottom with a little bit of the sides. It says that seems to be the pshat of the Rash and the Rav, but elsewhere he explains over here. But elsewhere he explains that it's a small vessel at the bottom of the machatz in order to hold the machatz, and they're both pasul. Anyway, whatever. See, that's the first rejects that shot, so therefore we're going to skip it. Enough. So back to the Arukh HaShulchan here. They're broken kalim, as the first just told us. And obviously the walls of the keli, they don't have the rest of the keli. Uguvas hachavis, the lid cover, the lid, have a psul, the is on a cap mishum lav lishtamish and so chavida. It's not meant for the inside to be used. Elakis chavis is meant only to cover a barrel. Ayin sham. Pisa afilei machzikim revius, when this even they hold the revius, only shlom sumach, they can stand without being supported. In other words, they're flat. Absolutely, this time they're possible for washing. By the time nesha any kohen came, they're not called kelim gam lekiddush echatas, and also possible for paraduma water. Not perkei the para. By the time to set the sham, shulek kli, the bottom of a kli etzem of a boneware vessel, kli schuchis, and a glass vessel, ukli eitz, and a wooden vessel. Ain't no limit. You can't use them to wash. Kinaskan v'shafan, if you cut them and smooth them, so now it has like a new rim, and some claim now they're like vessels unto themselves. No, them you can wash them at kalashon. Okay, Perushin. This is what it means to say. The shulek kli hu shivrei keli. The bottom of a vessel, if the vessel's top cracked off, it's a broken keli. And then kinkasan b'shafan, if you smooth them, if you cut them and smooth them, so come over Mishnah kelim perak lam tanan. That says in Mishnah to shulek ara kulei sheikil tashmish. If you had the bottom of a plate where the top cracked off, but you fix in order to use it appropriately, they are no shulek sheikil tashmish. You fix them to use them. They're tar. But kirsatano shafan b'shufin. If you then, however, cut the rim and smooth the rim, they're tome. Klomar, meaning the fact you designate it for usage, lomhani, that doesn't work. They're not makabel, they're not kalim. It's considered a broken piece of vessel. Rakim kirsaton, only if you cut them. Like you fixed them by scraping, or made them smooth. Or shifon, or filed them. With the tool which is used by metal workers, Nasis Keli, then that's a vessel. That's true about this time as well. If you didn't do something to fix it up, and little boy, you can't use it for washing. Also, by myself, if you did something to fix it up, mutter little boy, you can use it for washing. He says here in the brackets, but not in Rashi print, which probably just a typo. Says that if a shivrei kli cheres holds revis, mutter little yadayim, but it's astonishing and clearly is not the normative halacha. Boys, a lot of stuff today. Yud Zayin. For Rabbeinu Beis Yosef, Sivra Gadol Halach B'Zeh Derech Acheres. He has a different shot. So the psul hadfonas v'ashlayim ha'magufa, the psul of the walls and the bottom and the cover. Sometimes she'em b'chotim l'shev el mesumachim. It's because they can't sit on their own. They have to be supported because they're wobbly. Pizah kosa b'sif gimel b'beis yisrael b'sif gimel klisha machzik rebias shesomchin also, a vessel which goes rebias only when it's supported. If it can't be, it's not supported. You shafcha mind where it's going to spill. Won't be levius left. Ain't no keli. It's not a vessel. The cover of a vessel which is pointy and won't be able to hold the levius unless it's supported. Ain't nothing. Men can't wash from it. If you widen it on the bottom, to the point that you kabo revius, and obviously flatten it, right? You flatten the bottom, so you can kabo revius so it can hold the water when it's sitting without support. No only matter you can wash from it. Says din emes. That is true. But that what she wrote, that the real problem is that you can't hold the revius unless it's supported. Ain't okay. That's not true. Even it can sit without support, it's still possible until you fix it the way the base has to fix it. So the fixing works, but a lot of time, but rather because you made it a kli in this manner. To designate it to be used as that way does not work. Okay, Mishnah Berurah brings down opinions. If the shever keli holds revius without any support, if it's okay or not. Some people say that even those who are meko should only meko if it's designated for a usage, and brings the name of Avram the Gra. that you should not be mako in any event, because it's a shever keli, has no significance whatsoever. Mishabur writes that by lids which are pointy and the revius, unless they are supported, you can't use them again unless you fix them. But if they were very broad to begin with and they're makabo revius, they're kosher, because they're used sometimes also in this way, upside down, to hold the liquid. Some people making this nevertheless, unless you made them, you designate explicitly for the purpose of holding liquids. Yudches. You shouldn't use a pitcher. Giskan, through the spout, which the pitchers sometimes have. Because that spout is not made in order to hold water. That is from the Shloh. The Talmud was that they're stunned about this. Though the kior, the kind of kachi they are claiming a kior. In the kior in the base of Mikdash, they used the spigots from the kior, which are not made to hold water, but just to transfer the water. Of a tear to the answer to the kior, you assume mean shloferis. They're made like a tube shemakabli mine, which can hold water. But if it's made like a pipe, which is open on top, which is half a circle, low, not. Inami, however, or else the kior loyo blitas gavoa mi gufa keli, and the kior, the protrusions were not higher than the gufa keli, so the gufa keli was kind of like held the water. They were on the sides, equivalent to the inside the keli. But if the spout of the pitcher is above the pitcher, low, it's just made for pouring. This is difficult and it requires a interpretation, which we will not complete tonight because we've gone long enough and we still have one more sif, and that will not suffice. You test nearly beyond Varnikenu. It seems like this. Doesn't mean that the water has to be put into the keli through that spout in order that be held part of the Kabbalah. We never put water in through spouts or spigots. Because then, nevertheless, the Kohanim wash their hands from the spigots of the kior. What this means, they have to hold water. Cannon, kalim which are called cannon. There's like a protrusion above the body of the keli. The water's not going to stay on there. That's why he said the kior wasn't like this. Even if the spigots were on top, nevertheless, each one of the spigots was surrounded, was totally enclosed. And therefore it can hold water. Or that these spigots were not above the kior, but they were equal with the kior. And therefore the water would be held in there, obviously, until the open spigot. That's the explanation, but the ramifications we will have to leave for now.